I am still just not comfortable with this at all. Do you have to do that?
Don't you want to touch it, Morgan?
No! I didn't want to touch it 8 hours ago. I don't want to touch it now.
Smells like Fritos and plastic. Yes.
Seriously been doing this all day. It's horrifying.
It is. It's pretty scary, huh? Yeah. Yeah. But other than scary masks this week, we have comics for you. Yeah, I'm sorry, that mask is a little,
It's a bit unnerving,
It is. It's hard to stay focused. See? You know? Right. We're going to put this to the side for a minute.
That's probably a good idea.
Alright.
Here's what you're all here for. A comic. Yes, a comic book. Shocking, I know. This is the 24th issue of New Avengers by Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Schiti. This is the counterpoint to last week's Avengers issue, where they jumped 8 months ahead of time, and time ran out, or that's happening in 8 months. I don't know, they're pretty confusing with this
Something
stuff.
about Axis? I don't know.
But at this point, Namor's rogue cabal, because, you know, they made another group of Illuminati made of nothing but evil dudes.
You mean the Cabal?
Cabal? Cabal? I'm pretty sure it's Cabal.
Cabal's
the Mortal Kombat guy. But it's basically Thanos and Namor and a bunch of Thanos' cronies with those weird Jonathan Hickman names you can never remember, and Maximus the Mad and the Black Swan, who's another Jonathan Hickman original, are all going around counter to the New Avengers' quest of saving alternate worlds and just, you know, blowing them up. Getting the threat out of there when you can, you know. And this also sees Namor have a great talk with Doctor Doom, because everyone loves when Doctor Doom shows up.
Sells comics. He's in Loki this week. There you go. More from Marvel. We've got Edge of Spider-Verse number 3. This is totally done by Dustin Weaver, the artist on S.H.I.E.L.D., which is finishing.
Oh my!
I saw pages on the internet. The internet does not lie. Never does the internet lie. But this is really cool. This is like some straight up kind of manga, mecha, Mega Man, Spider-Man type of deal. This series has been focusing on, each one has a different universe, different Spider-Man. First one was Spider-Man Noir, second one was the awesome Spider-Gwen, and now we have Mega Man Spider-Man. And it's even got straight up trading cards from 1991 Marvel style. That is amazing.
Also, Spider-Man is rocking the bowl cut and turtleneck style like nobody else.
He looks like Otto Octavius, actually. But yeah, this is going to be friggin' cool. I love Spider-Man as a character, and it's really great just to see different versions of him. You don't need to know anything about anything to pick this up. It's just one shot, so.
And this week from Image, we have the 3rd issue of Rick Remender and Greg Ticini's amazing sci-fi series, Low. Yes. This is taking it from its original setting of a last outpost of humanity in an overrun world of heat death and drowning and a lot of weird counterintuitive apocalypses, and taking it to space. Because everything needs to go to space eventually.
It's true. More from Marvel. We're just shilling Marvel books here. All new Ghost Rider, number 7. I feel like I had to talk about this because some of you may be a little upset that Treadmore left.
I am.
You know,
I definitely am.
Absolutely. But, you got Damian Scott to fill in next. And if you don't know, Damian Scott is, he's been working for a while, and he's been really honing his really kind of strange, bizarre graffiti artist skills into something that's a bit more manageable that can kind of fit onto the page, unlike that really unfortunate Batwoman, or wasn't Batwoman, Raven comic many years ago. That was a little unfortunate.
Yeah,
but this one's really friggin' awesome. I mean, look at that cover, he's just coming at you all in your face and shit. But yeah, this is, sees Robbie kind of finding his place with Eli, who wants him to be more evil and violent and, you know, do horrible things. And, you know, Robbie's trying to hold on to a shred of humanity, which isn't very, you know, easy when your face turns into a giant flaming skull and, you know, you win car races and holy shit, that's cool. Oh yeah, and all sorts of, you know, animals ate Dr. Hyde's giant growth serum, so.
Big buff animals.
Big buff animals.
And with that, we're just going to let you think about some buff animals, or we're going to think about some buff animals,
right.
Which I do every night. What? I didn't say that. Anna!
Just got back from Rose City Comic Con and I brought back an award winner with me. This is the new issue of My Management from Matt Kint, won the Reader's Choice of the Stumptown Book Awards at Rose City Comic Con this past weekend. If you're a reader of My Management, you won't want me to tell you what happened in this book because it would give something very important away. If you haven't read it yet, I don't think I could start at issue 26. It would be a terrible headache for the both of us. But it's one of the best put together books, and it won an award for a reason, so you should pick it up. We have a reprint, 21, the story of Roberto Clemente by Wilfred Santiago. It came out in 2011 in a hardcover edition, but it's reprinted in the second volume. It's a nice soft cover, you know, you can throw it in your backpack because it won about 8 library awards for being such a beautiful and informative and well put together book about the baseball player Roberto Clemente, Puerto Rican baseball player in the 60s who literally and figuratively knocked it out of the park. We have a number 1 from Archaea. Yes, Archaea still puts out books. This is Butterfly by Marguerite Bennett. I've been on a huge Luther kick, so I'm all about the spy cop person with a very flawed nature, and this main character fits into that personality like a T. We have a new number 1, Michael Morici and Vic Malhotra. I am not familiar with his work, but I am familiar with Michael Morici's work, and Roche Limit takes place in space on a colony that has become a bastion for things that you shouldn't do to other people, whether they're on Earth or in space, but it's become a playground for evil people, and Roche Limit needs to get cleaned up. Speaking of space, aliens. Aliens are the best thing about space. And these aliens are written by Chris Roberson and illustrated by Patrick Reynolds. So there's not a lot of bad things to say about these aliens. They might kill a bunch of people, but I don't think they're really that bad. They're just aliens. Oh, but my favorite thing, political power and female force comics. These are some things we pulled out from the back, and you should pick them up. We got Ted Kennedy. Who doesn't like a comic about Ted Kennedy? Stephanie Myers is probably as riveting as her books. Princess Diana, sparkly, she's dead now, you should buy this. Barbara Walters, what a saucy minx when she was a kid. I love history, and these books tell a tale. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Anna. I was at Rose City Comic Con as well, pushing Guttertown, which you should always buy. And sitting next to us was these really cool guys who run Loser City Comics. And I just put a post online about all sorts of stuff that you can look in detail, but we got Final Derby, which is Japanese-inspired post-apocalyptic roller derby comic. Very, very cool. Omega Boys, which is the X-Men done by David Cronenberg and David Lynch.
And it has a sweet cross-section of their Cronenbergian spaceship on the back.
Boom. Kids Rule, which is a collection... 3 different stories by 3 different artists, all written by Danny Jalojevic. I think that's how I say it. I'm terrible at this. I'm sorry, Danny. Anyway, the first one is about a new wave Cthulhu music producer, which is very cool. I mean, clearly Cthulhu has his tentacles and everything, because, you know, he should. Lots of really cool artists in here. Yeah, it's like $4. It's cheap. What else we got here? Hurlance, which is collected garage comics from 2009 to 2013. All sorts of short stories by Danny and Mike Prozado. And the last one, Ghost Engine, which is 4 issues collected, trade. And it's, the way they put it, double the buddy cop dysfunction like you Inception, Tango and Cash into Lethal Weapon, but also the Frighteners and Dead Heat for some reason. So if that isn't enough key buzzwords for you, I don't know what is. But we've got them all here. Help support local comics. Well, quasi-local from San Diego, you know.
Underground comics.
Underground
let's just say
comics,
that.
that's right.
And speaking of things that were at one point underground, although are far too successful at this point to be considered that anymore, we have a new graphic novel from Mr. Gilbert Hernandez, of course, of Love and Rockets fame, as if I need to tell you that. This is Bumperhead, chronicling the story of one boy as he numbly floats through life, which, at this point in my life, I can kind of relate with. Kind of weird how that works, but there's tons and tons and tons of acclaim from various actually really classy sources like The Guardian and New York Times and The Washington Post.
Ooh,
but this is classic Gilbert chronicling, I mean, just human misery and love and everything else that comes with life. honestly one of the best human writers of all time.
Very much so. From Oni Press this week, one of the most bizarre, visceral, and slightly offensive comics ever to have been made.
Slightly, he says. Slightly.
Depending on your level of offense. The Auteur, by Rick Spears and James Callahan and Luigi Anderson on colors. If you didn't hear about this when it was coming out, you must not go on the internet. That's okay. No judgment. But it follows a director who's trying to desperately get back his fame and make the greatest serial killer movie ever. And to do that, you of course need, research and strange drugs that haven't really been tested by most white men that have come from the strange jungle
And
of God knows where.
Importantly, a murder consultant.
That's right, murder consultant. Because how are you going to make a good slasher movie without a murder consultant?
It's true.
How will you know how the
Friday
blood...
the 13th, they had a real guy behind that mask.
That's
Fun
right.
fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's what, $20, 5 issues. You can't get all the issues anymore. I know, I've tried. It's very nice, all in one package. If you need something to kind of, put that little bit of spike in your Kool-Aid this week, be the Auteur.
And, whoa, right. I forgot this thing that I was really excited about. Part of DC's current Futures End crossover, this is Futures End Booster Gold #1. If you don't realize why this is important, it's because Booster Gold is back. Duh.
He's dead. Wait.
No, what?
No.
Since
Okay.
when? No, he kind of got erased from time a little bit, but you know.
Whatever.
He's back, and also they're Tiger Man from Commandy. There's like 5 different artists drawing this as he jumps through time into various realities. Really cool stuff. There's a bit of art by Moratat of All-Star Western fame, drawing Batman again, the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Written by Booster Gold creator Dan Jurgens, of course. And you should definitely watch out for Justice League 3000 when him and Blue Beetle, the original Blue... Not original Blue Beetle, because I mean, he was the second one. But Ted Kord, Booster Gold, together again in the future. It's going to be amazing.
Yes. And finally, today we have Jeffrey Veregge signing, who has recently kind of gotten some work from the comic industry here. He's going to start doing covers for G.I. Joe. He's most known for his, he's been doing a lot of like prints and different art that's been kicking around the internet. That really kind of works this native
Minimalist
kind of
design style.
Yeah, minimalist design style with kind of his native heritage. This is Karen Travis and Steve Kurth rebooting G.I. Joe after the Cobra War. Brand new from IDW, and Jeffrey will be here from 4 to 7, I want to say. 3 to 7. I just got the word from the person who knows about those things.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah, don't listen to us. But he will be here. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And we're just gonna remind you that this came out this week.
Keep your faces on.
That's right. Don't cut them off and eat them. They're kind of nasty.